Final synthesis and reflection presentation for my creative approaches to trauma informed practice class. So I'm going to be making this video. And I picked the assignments, and I'm just going to go through some of the things that I learned and give a description and kind of explain my experience and give a little bit of insight into what it was like for me going through this class this semester. I have 11 slides. This is the first one, so thank you so much. The first one, assignment number 1. This is you could see the sketch that I made here, and it was, so being that this was the first assignment, the self-care plan was very helpful for me to just set the stage for success this semester. I appreciated that this was the foundation, that identifying supports and ways of coping with stress were identified early on. It helped me as the semester progressed and things ramped up, not only in this class but other classes I was taking. And so the picture covers a lot of my coping skills, and the diagram is layers of those coping skills, and the most important ones are in the center there, and then they spread out. But the first stress tool was exercise and walking. I'm a firm believer in disciplining the body and disciplining the mind at the same time. So by engaging myself physically, it helped me untie knots in my mind if I'm experiencing mental stress. The second piece I added was journaling and laughing after a hard day or being overwhelmed with work, or just focusing on laughter. I feel is incredibly helpful. So that would be my second approach, would be just doing some journaling to get my thoughts out if I'm experiencing stress, and really trying to laugh. The next important piece was connecting and reaching out. If I've attempted to alleviate my stress and I'm still at a point where I am stalled, I can always reach out and get out of myself by connecting with another human being. The next piece was slow down and relax. I think that was critical. For me, the best way to do this is to take a bath. Not just because it's your typical thing of a relaxing bath, but just because it's I have some space to myself. It's quiet. I'm a very sensory person, so the warm bath and the smells and sights of that would definitely be a stress reliever for me. And then the very last one was identifying additional people around me who I could reach out to. So that was assignment number 1, was really helpful. Assignment 2, this went through looking at periods of my life where I was highly creative, almost like a timeline or a lifespan integration exercise is the way I interpreted it. I also felt like it started to reintroduce me to my own creativity, and I realized that in times of high pain, I also had high creativity and newness in my life. I was reinventing and transforming myself as well. So although I was being transformed by pain, I was reinventing and transforming myself. So a quote here that I found: when you turn to creative expression in the depths of pain, you are in fact healing your grief. Creativity is a way to transform pain. The results of your creativity, if they're good enough, help others transform their pain. I can say there's been times where I've done artwork or some form of creative expression, and I've had people resonate with me about how they really benefited from that, and so I know that to be true. It's never my intention, like, oh, I'm going to help someone else by like writing this poem or something, but in it, just the natural essence of it, it happens. Assignment number 3, this was reflecting on music and music therapy. This was a good one for me. I have I have different friends and we do different things, it's like, but I have specifically a music friend, and we both of our favorite band is the same favorite band. We do have a diverse music that we, like differently, but we definitely, and I've known him for a long time, can relate and talk about music. One of the things that really stands out to me about this trauma therapy courses, or just something I heard in the last year and a half or almost 2 years, is like that the inner ear has the ability to like override trauma memories. So like, like music has a way of getting in there and like protecting the brain from trauma as well. With a quote that I found here, cognitive behavioral music therapy in child and adolescent grief work emphasizes behavior modification, identification, and expression of emotions. The intellectual understanding of grief challenges cognitive distortions while assisting with cognitive reframing and reshaping. Like, that's a like really long way to say like, oh yeah, music changes you. It's like, you're feeling bad, put some music on, you might feel different. So overall, I definitely appreciated the assignment. I reviewed all the different types of music and how that's played a role in processing and coping things in life. Talked about my friend, and music has not just been an experience, like, it has actually helped shape my identity hugely. I remember going to concerts and stuff in high school, and that was like a really empowering thing for me. But the therapeutic side of it for music to like override trauma is really powerful and motivating for me. Assignment 4, this was like, I did some artwork. Unfortunately, my face is covering part of this, so I'll explain to you what it is. But the isolation piece, the longer I'm alone and isolated, the more overwhelming and underpowered I'm able, and I am unable to escape this situation, only to be consumed by the fire. So this is like a volcano. It's got lava, and then like where my face would be, it's like covering up a person who's like stuck and can't get off. There's been many times that I've suppressed my stress, and eventually it's consumed me like the lava in the picture, sometimes physically by becoming ill, and other times mentally by developing anxiety or extreme stress. Although the experience of victimization can initially provoke a sense of isolation, survivors quickly turn to others. That was from the text. The second picture, the connection picture, this kind of there's times in my life where I've reached out and connected with others during times of stress, and in these situations, the same one that would have like burned me in the lava before was able to be transformed, and I wasn't consumed by it. It says, okay, assignment 5. So this was the therapeutic writing approaches. I appreciated, the work that we did on learning about poetry therapy, bibliotherapy, and about how, the written word can be a therapeutic tool. I've enjoyed writing poetry for many years. In the past, I didn't really, I just did it for, here or there, but I try to like use it as a therapeutic practice when I can, when I'm not too exhausted. But yeah, no, the medium that I use for this assignment was the sentence starter directives, and I think as a journaling tool that was really powerful, and that I would definitely utilize this with clients in the future if I had to. But I will say I do see like limitations in using this, especially with people or clients that have like literacy issues and things like that. So although it can be a really powerful tool, I don't think it's the most accessible, especially given language barriers. If I'm working with a patient in the future who has limited English ability and I don't have the ability to speak their native language, I could see that coming in as a barrier if I was trying to assist them. But as an interpersonal tool, I think it could be effective. Okay, now I made a little mistake before, so okay. Okay, assignment number 6, this was the movement therapy, or it was like the kind of engaging assignment where we had to interact with another person and journal about it. I think what the most important word that came up for me on this one was flow, and it was like jumping in the flow with the client. So I think one of the problematic things that can get in my head is like trying to control the outcome of the situation with the client, and really just allowing myself to be present with what's happening in the session and jumping in that flow with the client. My job is to create the safe space, build trust, and hold power very carefully. But by doing that, I create the sacred space and the sacred work can be done. So I found like this was really cool to be able to interact with another person and kind of test out my skills. But yeah, I think my reflection on that was trusting the process, knowing I have tools that are effective and can be useful to others, learning how to trust myself. Others will trust me. Yeah, I think that this was definitely a powerful experience. Okay, the peer check-ins 1, 2, and 3. I did kind of like a creative expression on this one, so I used the first letter of peer check-in to create, well, I don't know where my video went on this one. Hopefully you can hear me. But yeah, positive, energizing, engaging, recounting, calming, hopeful, effective, changing, kindness, inviting, normalizing. These peer check-ins provided a consistent home base. It was great to be able to just kind of bounce things off of another person who is going through the same thing as me. It really helped my learning style. I'm a kinesthetic learner, so being able to experience the class with another person, it gave me that piece of feeling like I was in class. One study said individuals report experiencing higher positive affect and having more fun in social versus solitary situations. Indeed, multiple studies have shown that people enjoy experiences with other people more than experiences alone. Summary, overall, I believe this course was well needed and especially appropriate at this point in my course requirements. I've taken a lot of classes on research and linear cognitive-based theories and practices up until this point. Basically, like, I just feel like I was ready for a little bit of a change and to break it up. And doing the exercises and applying the material to assignments, it made me feel as these creative interventions wholly held a lot of weight, and to me, things that were cognitive and linear in the past felt like they held more weight than these expressive and creative therapies, and my mind got changed in that way. This is a citation, and thank you.